Hello punters and welcome to Saturday Racing Preview where of course in this video we are looking at Chelmsford Stakes Raceday at Royal Randwick Racecourse. Terrific meeting on the program, really looking forward to this one. We've got some terrific group racing, got 3 Group 2s including the Furious Stakes in race number 6. Got the Chelmsford in race number 7, which we're really looking forward to, and of course the Tramway in race number 8. And then we of course have the Group 3 Concorde when we line up for the Everest, the first race of some of the contenders heading towards the Everest, which looks a really good match race between Nature Strip and Guitra. Really looking forward to this, and looks like a great betting race, but we're going to be able to see 2 very good contenders for the Everest this year go lock horns and go at each other over the 1,000 metres. So really looking forward to this program. And without any further ado, we're going to get stuck straight into it. So if you haven't already done so, obviously subscribe on the video, give it a like, comment any of your thoughts as we go through the meeting. Going to go through it race by race, and of course going to give you all the selections that I think can win each race from first to fourth, but also going to give you any other chance that I think might be worth a mention in the race. If you go down into the description below, I've got a article on SEN Track for the Randwick meeting tomorrow. Very, very appreciative of those guys entrusting me with that type of doing the form for them. So hopefully we can find plenty of winners tomorrow. Go and give that a read if you'd like to. I'll leave the link in the description of this video. But look, obviously, there's little snapshots, and similar to my tips on social media, you just kind of I guess you get to see my tips, whereas in this video I'll give you a bit more of a broad, in-depth analysis of each race and sort of the runners that I think have got the best chance in the race. So look, apologies for uploading late. Hopefully plenty of you can get onto these videos. I'm going to try and get them done as early as I can, but look, I'm doing an absolute stack of work at the moment, which I am fortunate enough in these tough times to be working a bit at the moment, but juggling basically uni, some work with SEN Track now, and then also my regular paid job as well. So it's been pretty full on for me the last few weeks, but I'm still here, still getting out these videos because I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy giving you guys plenty of information ahead of the races tomorrow. So probably the best thing to do is, if you do subscribe, make sure you click the notifications bell, so that as soon as I upload a video, whether it's Friday night, Thursday night, Friday morning, or whenever it will be ahead of Saturday, you will get that video and you can come in and watch it straight away. So without further ado, I'm going to get through this video as quick as I can and ramble on a little bit in the Moonee Valley video, and I apologise for that. So we're going to get stuck straight into this, and we're going to give a good in-depth analysis of each race, but we're going to try and do it as quickly as we can so I don't waste too much of your time. You can get to bed at a good time tomorrow, because we're getting started at 12:15 tomorrow at Randwick, which is with race number 1, a benchmark 78 over 1,100 metres. Looking forward to this race here. Look at the speed map. I'd suggest that Buck and Beauty and Musical Genius will probably try and find the front. Harto usually likes to be up towards the speed. I guess he'll probably try and box seat though, with the favourite Etheria on the inside of it. Sky Call will also be up towards the pace as well, I would suggest, and Fanciful Dream won't be too far off the speed either. So could be a decent enough tempo here, but I guess you'd expect that for 1,100 metres. Look, I am keen with the theory here. I'm very surprised that Harto's the favourite. Has had a bit of support here first up, but I just really loved her run first up last start, where she was beaten by Fanciful Dream. She just roared home. It was a terrific run. She looked to go to the outside. Fanciful Dream laid out a little bit, so she had to change course, get onto the inside, and she hit the line really well. I was beaten a photo finish, much to my dismay, because I was with her last start, and I'm sure anyone that watched the video and followed me in would have been as well. So that was a bit of a heartbreaker, that one there on the heavy track. But look, she comes into this second up. I think she's going to appreciate the extra 100 metres. My only little query with her is she hasn't really performed too well on a good track before. She's had 6 starts for just the 2 placings, but they've all been in very good company. So look, I can forgive that a little bit here, and I just think that she improves off that run first up. She's going to come into this second up and run really well again. She's got a barrier 1, which I don't think that's that bad a draw, because the only other horse that I can see probably dropping right back in the field is Night Flyer, and in a small field, I still think that she's going to get her chance of theory to get out on James McDonald and wind up and hit the line well. So she goes on top for me at the $2.70, ahead of number 10, Hardo in the second, who she looks an exciting horse, and she resumes here first up, and I really am keen to see what she can do. She's getting some good market support to suggest that she's going to run really well first up, and she's my biggest concern with backing a theory is number 10 Harto, so she goes in for second. In for third, I do have number 1 Musical Genius, who I think have run really well first in this race as well, coming back from a run last start behind Sweet Deal. That of course was in Group 3 company, so big step back in grade for this horse here. It does have to carry a little bit of weight, but Natural Will in the saddle. $6.50 is a pretty good price about this horse. I wouldn't be surprised to see it run really well here for Joe Pride. So I've got it in for third. Then in fourth, I do have number 3, Fanciful Dream, who's been in really good form as of late. Obviously, last 6 starts, in fact, it's only missed the Quinella position once. So I could think this horse will be running really well again here. And obviously, I do think a theory will get the better of her because get that little bit of a weight swing between them from last start. But you can't knock the winning form of her and Tim Clark in the saddle. So and $8.50 is pretty over the odds. I know that there's a weight swing, and Theory's got further improvement to come out of that first up run, but she still did beat her, and she is $8.50. But look, I'm very keen on number 4 Theory here in the first race of the program, ahead of number 10 Harto for second. In for third, I've got number 1 Musical Genius, and then in for fourth, number 3 Fanciful Dream. Moving on to race number 2, down to 1200 metre highway race, class 3 handicap. Look at the speed map here. I'd suggest that probably Absolute Trust and Yulong Knight will be rolling towards the front. Pace Stick will be right up there as well. Mr. Kylan, I think, will use the inside barrier to get into a prominent position, probably sitting behind the leaders, in fact. Look, I'm very keen on Absolute Trust here. Look, it is a very big and open race, and I mentioned this in my article on SEN Track that look, it's a hard race to have a bet in with any confidence, but I do think of all these horses that Absolute Trust looks the one. It's got plenty of upside in the race. Has had a good, solid push in the market as well. $9 that opened at. It's now at $5 and is the favourite. And I just think that it's the horse that has the upside, and I think first up here could be in for a really bold showing, and the trial suggested it can run really well first up here as well. So it goes on top for me. Number 5, Absolute Trust. Out of number 3, Feel the Night in for second at the $6 again. Similarly, it's been relatively well back to open up at $9 into $5. It's now touched back out to $6, but this horse is really knocking on the door for a win. He's been terrific his last couple of starts in particular. He's won first up at Randwick in the highway race behind Leo. It was a good run on a heavy track. He gets back onto a good surface, which I think is going to be much more to his liking, and I think we'll be seeing a much improved run, and he'll be the biggest danger to Absolute Trust for me. In for third, I've got number. I'm trying to remember now. Do I have number 9? I think it was number 9, Southern Appeal. Sorry, I've got to remember exactly who I had out of the article, because I don't want to make a fool of myself and give you guys different on-top selections. I believe it was number 9, Southern Appeal. Anyway, we're going to roll with it. Stuff it. Southern Appeal's first up here. I think it's got a pretty good chance from the draw. I think it's really well placed. Regan Bayliss gets jumps in the saddle. This horse obviously has had just the 8 starts in its race career. Trials haven't been, it hasn't had a trial actually coming into this, which is interesting, because then you look at the betting, and this horse has chimed in a little bit in the market. So a little bit of market support there, so I suggest it can run well enough. In fact, just to quickly touch on, all these horses have come in from their opening quotes because of the scratchings. It's Me and On the Take in particular, especially It's Me, was going to be one of the short favourites in the race. So my mistake on that, just ignore that. All of them have come in from their opening quotes, so my apologies. But look, Southern Appeal has stayed pretty rock solid since that change in price, which is a good thing. So, and I think it run well enough first up here, the 55.5 kilos. Then in fourth, number 1, Tim's Principle. I think this horse has got the best form in the race, and if it can handle the weight, it'll be running really well here first up, and I'd give it a really good chance at $7.50. Did open up at 21. So like I said, I know that they did come in off of that, but he has continued to be backed ever since then. So the money has still been there for him, and I think he goes pretty close here. In fact, I'm pretty sure I had him third on SEN track anyway. But look, I'm very keen on the top 2. That's the main gist of this. Number 5, Absolute Trust on top, ahead of number 3, Feel the Night in for second. In for third, number 9, Southern Appeal. And in for fourth, number 1, Tim's Principle. Now, Pace Stick's the other one. Bit of a tricky barrier, but if it can get across and find a position under Tim Clark, it'd probably be in the finish as well. Moving on to race number 3 on the program now, and is the Quincy Seltzer benchmark 72 over 1,300 metres. Look at the speed map here for this race. Suggest that probably the 3 horses drawn on the inside barriers will be up towards the pace and looking to lead with Petronius, Escaped, an all-time legend. It suggests that Sylvester will also try and roll towards the pace from that outside barrier. Maybe tuck in and try and find a run, but I think Race on Detra and Giovanna Run, they'll be not far off the speed either, so they might make Sylvester the one-time favourite work into the race here. Look, I'm very keen on number 9, Race on Detra, and I'm going to have a good play at her as well. I think she's got a really good chance, a lot of upside. She's always been a bit of a boom filly, and I loved her first up performance. I was with Eliza Bill on that occasion last start, but look, she absolutely blitzed Eliza Bill, and Eliza Bill since came out and broken her maiden, and she was in some good form races last preparation, including finishing behind Peltzer. So look, some really good form there, and Race on Detra has got plenty of ability, and I'm really keen to see her second up here. I think she gets a really good run in the race. I think she'll be quite hard to beat the 440. Really good price for me. So she goes on top ahead of number 6, Arcana, who was good first up, fit good, nice. Second behind Enlighten Me, who ran at Wyong today. From memory, let me just double check on that. Yeah, so Enlighten Me went round the Mona Lisa today at Wyong, finished 9th in the race, but that is a really good, strong form race there, and I think I was really taken aback with what Arcana did on debut last preparation when it won by 3, what was it? 3.8 lengths, I believe it was, yeah. Look, I was really taken back with that performance, and ever since then, I've really had a high opinion of her, and I think she'll run a really good race here. So she comes in this second up. I think she'll improve off her first up performance, so she goes in for second. If a third, I do have number 2, Petronius, who I think can run well first up here. I'm really keen to see how he can go. He's had a nice trial leading into this one here. And has plenty of upside, so he will be running well, especially from barrier number 1 as well. Of the on-speed runners, he gets the favourable draw. The other horse that I do give a chance to is number 7, Sylvester, who was really strongly backed first up at Rose Hill. At Canterbury. Was beaten on that occasion by Escaped, who meets better here. Was pretty well beaten by Escaped, for a matter of fact, but that was on a soft track. Comes back on top of the ground, which I think is going to favour back into Sylvester's hands, and gets a massive weight swing on Escaped in this race here, so I think that's going to really favour it and see it run a better race than Escaped here. And the other chance in the race is number 8, Giovanna Run, who I haven't got my top 4, but I really do respect as a horse, and I liked its last start win at Randwick on the Kensington track, and both wins have been on heavy track. Its only good track run was for a 6th, so a little bit of a query there at the $5, but I do think it can run well enough and has plenty of ability. But look, I'm very keen on number 9, Race on Detra here. I think it's going to be quite hard to beat. So it goes on top for me, ahead of number 6, Arcana, and for second. Even for third, I've got number 2, Petronius. And then for fourth, I've got number 7, Sylvestra. Race number 4, here we go. We've got the Group 3 Tab Concorde Stakes over the 1,000 metres. The lead-up race to the Everest. Really looking forward to this race here. Looks a bit of a race in 2, but there is a couple other interesting factors in this race here. Look at the speed map. I think the Ball Muscle it will get out and try and lead and hold out Nature Strip, but I think Nature Strip will probably have the toe from the outside barrier just to roll across and get in front and get into his work. But I'll be really interested to see how much Glenn Schofield gets in a Ball Muscle to try and make Nature Strip work out of the barriers to get across him. Splintex also has plenty of early toe, and I expect Rolly Dolan to try and set it a lot as well and make Nature Strip work. But look, at the end of the day, he has terrific gate speed. He's not always the best out of the gates, but those first sort of couple of 100 metres, he just gets rolling, and he just often crosses any field that he faces. And I expect that'll happen here. But obviously, the interest will be if he steps out of the gates. If he doesn't, he's going to have to do a little bit of work. So there's a couple of real genuine speed horses in this race, and then Getty Trail, he'll be sitting back in midfield and smoking the pipe and ready to roll over the top. Look, I do think Nature Strip wins. I think he's going to be really hard to beat. He's obviously the best sprinter in the country, and he's the equal third best racehorse in the world. He's got really earned that title, and I mean, to look at his recent trials, he just looks like he's absolutely flying at the moment, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing him go first up here. He's been a massive, costly horse to the punters, especially in his early career, but Chris Wilde's really got him settled now, and he just looks to be loving his work out there, and he's a terrific horse, and I'm just going to look forward to seeing him around, watching him go around tomorrow. Definitely wouldn't dive in $1.40. If anyone out there really likes him, while I do think he wins, $1.40, no thanks. We've seen plenty of times before he's gone out at odds on favourites and got rolled, so I definitely could not advise for you to touch him at that price. I know that there is a bookmaker out there who is offering $2 for him to finish first and second. Don't think there's that big of I think the max bet's like $25 or something. But still, if you want an absolute, I guess, a guarantee, I know you shouldn't say that in racing, but I can't see him really finishing outside the top two. So that'd be a pretty nice bet to go and do if you can find that one out there. But look at, so Nature Strip goes on top for me. Head of number 2, Guitra, who his hope's going to be that if Nature Strip doesn't get out of the gates, if he hesitates a little bit and he's forced to work to get past Guitra and Splintex, he will be able to wind up and potentially finish over the top. He's a very good horse in his own right. I do think that, look, I think that he'll give Nature Strip a challenge. But he won't want to let him get too far away. That's the only query. So Jason Collett's going to have to be well alert and keep Nature Strip in his vision because, look, while Guitra can really let down, we saw that last preparation, the Group 1 Black Caviar, where he was able to run down Redzel, but Nature Strip's a completely different beast. He's very, very quick, and he can often pinch it on the turn and get you off the bit. So Guitra's going to have to be close enough to try and run him down, but I'm really looking forward to this race. So those two are my the definite two on top. Number 4, Splintex. I'm very keen to see what he can do this preparation. I'm excited with him, and I know Robbie Dolan spoke pretty highly about him on Sky Thoroughbred Central, and Mark Newnham's has had a good opinion of him, and I'm excited to see what he can do here. I think he's the next best out of the top two, and I'm expecting him to make a really good first up performance, and he's going to be in for a pretty good spring preparation. He's had 3 starts here at Randwick for 2 wins and a placing, and he's very good over the 1,000 metres as well. So he's obviously a horse as well. He's only missed the top 3 once in his 9-start career. So I do think he'll be right up there again at the $16. In for fourth, I've got number 3, Ball of Muscle. Obviously, the inside barrier suits him nicely, and he is a very good fresh horse. I don't think he'll be quite good enough for these. He's probably going to get burnt off his legs by Nature Strip, but I think he'll be able to stick on well enough to be in the top 4 here. So, look, I have gone with number 1, Nature Strip on top, but I definitely couldn't suggest betting him. Number 2, Guitra goes for second. In for third, number 4, Splintex. And then for fourth, I've got number 3, Ball of Muscle. Moving on to race number 5 now. It is the the ATC Farewells Sub-Zero Benchmark 94. Of course, really sad to see Sub-Zero go. Terrific horse, and we're really going to miss him. He did so much, obviously winning the Melbourne Cup back in 92. Sorry if my... So I might have just fluffed that one. I hope I haven't. Actually, you know what? I should probably double check on that one because I'll look like an absolute fool on this. But I'm very confident it was 1992. Yeah, it was 1992. There you go. See? Look, my racing knowledge is not extremely huge, especially with the history of it. I'm only, believe it or not, I'm going to give you a quick story just before I roll back into just to break up the races for you, just in case you want to know a little bit more about me. We might even do this in a video at some stage where I'll have a bit of a discussion with you guys on a bit more of a personal level if you like to do that. But I'm a person who's only really gotten into horse racing over the last 4 to 5 years, and I've just fell in love with it, really. So while my knowledge is really good on what's happened now, back in the past, not a whole heap because I've really grown up with it. So, but look, I'm pretty stoked I got that one right. I was pretty positive it was 92. I just wanted to double check to not make myself look like a fool. But yeah, obviously what Sub-Zero did off the track was really amazing as well. And that's why we love horse racing. There's so much more to it than just the wagering and what happens on the track. There's plenty off the track and what these horses do for so many human beings, and that's why we love the sport and how they're treated. They're treated exactly how they deserve to be more often than not. So, but we're going to get back into the races anyway. So this is race number 5 over 1,500 metres. Look at the speed map here. I think Just Thinking will probably roll towards the top. Fun Fact will also be up there as well, as will Sir Plush. So that'll be probably the main speed factors in the race here. I think obviously Canaan will go right towards the back, and Think It Over will be back, probably about midfield actually, to be honest, with it. Look, I really did struggle to split some of these, but because obviously a lot of these are going to be looking for, I guess, the quarter of the mile and a quarter plus in their preparations here in this spring. But look, I've gone with Canaan because I just think I love what he did first up. It was a terrific run. He absolutely flew home. He was a really eye-catching run, and I just think the extra 100 metres will do him well. He obviously is looking for further, but I just thought that was a terrific run on a soft track. I think he'll appreciate coming back on top of the ground, which he hasn't missed a placing on in his 3 starts on a good track. So I just think that he'll bounce back and he'll run well here. 4.40, he's even $1.85 the place. So, I mean, he's a really good price to place in the race as well. So you could probably have a bit of a small win and a large place if you wanted to play that way. Otherwise, a lot of the bookmakers have got sort of second and third bonus bets. And I think you can take that with a bit of confidence. So he goes on top for me, ahead of number 8, Think It Over, who I was very keen on 2 weeks back, and fortunately he almost got there at the very nice price. I first tipped him at the double figure odds in a video, and he got to the line well. He just missed it, and when he was relatively well back just before the start of the race, and absolutely spewing that he finished second on that occasion. But I think he's going to have a real good chance to run a good race here, second up. And I expect him to run really well with Glenn Boss in the saddle. So he goes in for second. In the third, number 6, Masaf's the other one that I'm very keen on. I've always had a high opinion of this horse. And I think that he's got a really good chance. He's obviously had no official trial, but I think that he's going to be obviously hitting the line well, and he's obviously going to get better over further. But I really liked what he's done so far, this preparation. I loved his first up run. He was in the same race as the Think It Over and obviously Canaan, and he split those two, so he's obviously also got a good chance as well here. So there's not really a whole lot between those 3. And then I've also, the other one I didn't mind as well is number 10, Pancho, who was in that same race first up as well. Oh, sorry, this one he was actually in the open handicap. And he finished 8th on that occasion. That was on a heavy track, though. I think it'd be much better coming back on top of the ground. And he second up here, he's got good second up form, 3 starts for 2 wins. So I think he'll improve greatly. He just isn't always fantastic here at Randwick. That's my only little query with Pancho, but he's got plenty of upside and ability, and at 9.50 he could be a good chance to run home as well. Obviously, Just Thinking also has to be given claims. Was coming back on top of the ground, be much better after last start in the same race as Think It Over and Masaf and Canaan. And McCormack obviously comes out of race winning that race, but gets a little bit of a weight swing here. I've been a horse that doesn't mind a rain affected going, so coming back on top of the ground will probably help some of the horses that finished behind him last start. So I do think he can run well, but I just think that a few of these other ones will get the better of him. But look, recap the numbers for race number 5. I am very keen on playing number 13, Canaan. I just think that he's going to be running home well. He's going to obviously be looking for further, but I loved his run last start. And I think getting back on top of the ground is going to suit him nicely, and he'll be able to go one better. But he obviously was 5th last time, and I think he'll be well in the top 3, and he could probably win the race as well. So he goes on top for me, ahead of number 8, Think It Over. In for second, in for third, number 6, Masaf, and then in for fourth, number 10, Pancho. But look, I really could say to any of you that you can back any of them each way. I think they've all got just as good chances as each other. And then you got the likes of some of the other horses that probably prefer this type of distance range, like Matawi, who is rock hard fit now, who could also be a bit of a chance in the race as well. So very open race in race number 5 there, but I have gone with Canaan on top. Moving on to the second of the feature race, and the first of the Group 2s of the day. It is the Darley Furious Stakes for the 3-year-olds over 1,200 metres. Look at the speed map here. I'd say Chianti and Forbidden Love will probably be the leaders of the race. Dam Giselle will probably be up there towards the pace as well. I think they'll be the main speed factors in the race. Stella Pauline will probably be not far off the pace. Either will Miss Canada and Vangelic as well. But look, I'm keen of a 2-bet play here. On top, I have got number 10, Forbidden Love. I think that I loved what she did first up on a heavy track at Canterbury. She absolutely smacked Bardia on that occasion. Now, Bardia was a really good thing beaten today at Wyong. I don't want to talk about it too much because that was just so painful to watch, where she really rocketed home late, and was probably a good thing beaten. With any good luck and I guess being a bit close in the run, it would have gone really close to winning, and probably would have won, to be honest. So, but look, she's got the right form. She was third in the Silver Shadow. She has got really good form from last preparation, and I loved her first up run. I think coming back on top of the ground, she'll be even more improved in second up. So she's a good each way price at $9, and she looks to get a really good run. It looks like she will probably lead them up and potentially be able to dictate the terms, and if that's the case, she'll be pretty hard to beat. So she goes on top for me, ahead of number 2, Stella Pauline. I'll also be having an each way play on as well. I was really glad to see her get her maiden win out the way. She was terrific last preparation, including a second in the Magic Millions. So she's got stacks of ability, Stella Pauline, and I just think that after that win, that soft win first up at Hawkesbury to get her maiden out the way, will do her confidence a well and good. She could definitely bounce back off of that and run much better here. So she goes in for second, and I'm going to be having an each way play on her. Number one, Dame Giselle goes in for third. I really obviously was devastated that she managed to hold out Thermosphere last start, who was flying home late at the when I tipped it at the $17. And yeah, well, the better the not said about that day, the less said about that day, the better. I mean, that was a day of a lot of placings, so I don't really want to reflect on it too much. But I think Dame Giselle, if it could get over that sticky barrier number 10, I can see her running really, really well again. So she goes in for third. And then for fourth, number 3, Hungry Heart. Now I just can't. I respect the upside of this Frankel mare, but this Frankel filly, but I just think that I can't really understand how she's 280, to be honest. I feel these horses got the run out of the belt, and I think it's going to be far more beneficial. And obviously, like I said, her trials leading have been quite good, but and her form from last preparation has been quite solid. But I just think that, I don't know, just think 280s is very short about her. She's obviously had some good backing, but yeah, look, I found a few others ahead of her, to be honest. But I do respect her ability, and that's why I've got her in my top 4. Other chance in the race, I do think Thermosphere and Vangelic both have great claims. Obviously, Thermosphere finishing second to Dame Giselle last time out was a really good run. And Vangelic obviously had some good form from last preparation, including was placed behind Nature Strip in the recent trial, and that also included for Chuse. So it was a very strong trial indeed. But look, last preparation, she was obviously in some good form as well. Finished second behind Away Game at Randwick, which reads really well. So it's in at $8 there. It also has a good chance I'll be adding it into the quaddie. But look, I'm keen with number 10, Forbidden Love here. I think it's going to be able to lead, dictate the terms, and I think that's all you probably need in this race here. So it goes on top ahead of number 2, Stella Pauline, who will also be able to each way play on. In for third, number 1, Dame Giselle, and in for fourth, number 3, Hungry Heart. Move on to race number 7 now. It is the Chelmsford Stakes, over 600 metres, the feature race of the day. Look at the speed map here. I'd suggest that Angel of Truth, Finch, and Woogok are probably the main leaders of the race here. Some of the fancy runners will probably be getting back in the field. They won't want to get too far back here and let Angel of Truth get too far ahead. But look, I do think that I'm very keen on the chance of this horse, and I've seen that it's coming at $8. It just continues to bundle in, and I think that by tomorrow it could end up being around that $6 mark. It is number 8, Shared Ambition. Probably one of my best bets of the program. I'll see what I'll do at the end of the video, whether I make it a best value bet or a best bet. But I'm extremely confident in his chances. I'm going to forgive that first up run on the heavy track. He's well proven that he doesn't like a heavy surface, but he's much better when he comes back on top of the ground. He's had 4 starts for 3 wins and a placing on a good track. He's 2 from 2 second up, so I think he'll also improve off of that. He's not a good first up performer, so like I said, I just completely forgive that first up run. I think he's just going to run much better here with James McDowell in the saddle. $8 he is now, so he's probably getting more into the price that I thought he should be. I really did like him when he's out at that double figures at $12, but look, I'm still very confident in his chances. No matter how short he gets in, I could still have a go at him regardless. So he's my top selection. I'm very confident in his chances. In for second, number 1, Avilius, obviously very keen to see what he can do this preparation. He was a little bit disappointing last prep. He had some good runs, but he just didn't win. Much to the disappointment of punters, he was pretty well backed in most of his runs, as he usually is, but he's a top talent, and I'm excited to see how he goes first up here. He obviously loves running at Randwick as well, so that's a big positive for him. And obviously Kerry McAvoy jumps in the saddle, so he's got a good chance. He goes in for second for me, though. In for third, I've got number 10. No, sorry, not number 10. I've got number 14, Natoya. Obviously the Doncaster winner. I think she's been a little bit forgotten about here in this race. Obviously has won first up, and she did do that last preparation at Group 3. So while her first up form's not great, she did do that last preparation. She broke that first up form that she had. She's very good here at Randwick, because she's had the five wins here at the track, and like I said, she's a Group 1 Doncaster winner, so she's got plenty of ability, and $11 about her is a bit over the odds, so she goes in for third. And then in for fourth, I do have who did I have for fourth? I think it was Angel of Truth, number 10, at the $4.80. So, look, he was really good last start. I really loved his run behind Man of Peace. Absolutely flew to the line late. It was a really pleasing run. And I just think the extra 200 metres is going to suit him very nicely as well in the care of the Hawks team. So he goes in for fourth. Other chances of the race, I do think Zabrowski is an interesting runner and is sitting at $7 at the moment, been pretty rock solid in the market, got plenty of upside. This horse, second up into this race, obviously first up ran in the Group 1 behind Very Elegant, Star of the Season. So that was a bit of a step back in grade for this horse. I think it can run a much better race coming back on top of the ground. So it goes in for, it's not in my top 4, but I do expect it to run well. And Mr. Seawolf's the other one. Comes in this second up and can expect a good run out of him. To be honest, I thought he was a bit short at the $5 personally, but I would not be surprised if he runs a good race either. But look, recap the numbers for me. I'm very keen on number 8, Shared Ambition on top, ahead of number 1, Avilius in for second. In for third, I've got number 10, Angel of Truth. In for third, number 14, Natoya. And in for fourth, number 10, Angel of Truth. Moving on to race number 8 now. It is the Tramway over the 1,400 metres. Look at the speed map here. Graceful Glamour and Dreamforce look to be the 2 speed horses of the race. And I don't really think there'll be 2 others that'll challenge it. I think Reloaded and Colette will probably roll forward from barriers 1 and 3 and be maybe sitting behind the pace, perhaps. Looks like Elvis might roll forward, one of the outsiders of the field, but can see those 2 leading pretty well. And I think if that's going to be the case, Dreamforce is going to be pretty hard to beat. $4.20 now. I think he's going to start even shorter, so I'd be getting on him now if you're very keen on him. I think he's going to be hard to beat. Forgive that last start in the behind Very Elegant, Star of the Seas. He had the outside barrier and he just went so hard. He couldn't get across the field, and eventually he just fell out of the race, as did all 3 leaders in that race. There was there was 3 of them across the track. Dreamforce was the widest till eventually he got in behind, side by side of the leader in a pair, and then one dropped in behind them. But those 3 all fell out of that race there and finished last. And I just think that I can forgive that run there. He won't have anywhere near as much pressure here. I think he'll have the toe to sprint away from Graceful Glamour, and he'll be able to give some of these something to catch. And he is obviously, I think this is a much easier race for him. So he goes on top with a fair bit of confidence for me. Number 1, Dreamforce. So he's on top for me. Ahead of number 8, Vanna Girl, who has drifted out from its opening quote of $5. It's a bit surprised about that because she's got a lot of ability, and I know that the Queensland form you might think doesn't read up to some of these genuine Group 1 type of horses, but look, she was terrific and she won some good races. She obviously was very good in the Group 3 at Eagle Farm. She rocketed from the back on that occasion to win that. She beat Celestial Falls, who's a previous horse went towards an Oaks. Was once an Oaks favourite. So look, she's got a stack of ability, and she has only missed the Quinella position once in her 10-start career, so she's got plenty of ability. I think $8.50 is a great price about her now. I'm very surprised with that, so she goes in for second. In for third, I've got number 2, Colding, who I expect he'll run a much better race here. He'll appreciate getting back onto a firmer track. Obviously, he's had a few starts on heavy tracks. It's been not much good. He was last preparation. He was quite disappointing, but it was a bit of a combination for him of not being handling the Melbourne way of going, and then he went back to Sydney onto wet tracks, and he just didn't handle that either. So I'm going to forgive last preparation and forgive his first up run on the soft track over the 1,400 metres in that Very Elegant and Star of the Seas race there. And that, of course, was the Winx Stakes. So I think he'll bounce back here and he'll run a good race at the $10. I can definitely entertain having an each way go at him. And number 3, Dragon Leap's an interesting one for me. A horse coming across from New Zealand, looks to have a lot of upside and plenty of ability, and I'll be very excited to see what he can do first up here. He profiles pretty well to show some good improvement. He'll obviously probably look for a bit further, but he has won over the 1,400 metres before, so that is obviously a positive into this race here. And $14 is a good price as well. So other chance in the race, number 5, Rock. I think he can run well. First up, he's got a great fresh record, 4 starts for a win and 3 placings, and he hasn't really missed a place too many times in his career. He's had 11 starts for 4 wins and 4 placings, so I think he can run well at the $12. Reload has been absolutely smashed. I mean, this horse has gone from $11 into $4.80. So really big betting move about this horse. So I really couldn't give it a chance for me in terms of a top 4. I just had a few others ahead of him, but gee, that's a big go about him first up, and I have to look at that. You cannot ignore that type of betting move, so he's got to be a chance in this race. And obviously, his form from last preparation was quite good, and I'm interested to see how he goes from 3-year-old to a 4-year-old, whether he's matured a bit off of that. And obviously, Colette's got plenty of ability, but it's going to be looking for a lot further. But recap the numbers for me. I'm keen on number 1, Dreamforce on top, ahead of number 8, Vanna Girl, in for second. In for third, number 2, Colding, and in for fourth, number 3, Dragon Leap. Move on to the final race of the card. It's the Bisley Workwear benchmark 78 over 1,200 metres. We get to see well, we don't get to see Masked Crusader because he's been scratched. So that makes this race very open and very interesting here. So looking at the speed map, I suggest that Best Stone will probably lead them up now, and Mirror Vision won't be too far off. The Fire Trap, Crystal Breeze will be close enough in that race as well. So look, gee, the scratchings have thrown me around a little bit here. Who did I like initially? I didn't mind Quantico. I thought that horse was going to show a bit of a bit first up, and I was excited to see what he could do. But now it really opens the floodgates for a few of these other horses in the race now. And as such, look, I do think that. So look, I was keen on Masked Crusader and Quantico. So now that bumps I guess those two out the way and puts Mirror Vision on top for me now. So look, I probably am not extremely confident in this race because I thought Masked Crusader was going to be hard to beat, and I was probably going to have something each way on Quantico. But look, Mirror Vision now comes well into play with having those two out. Obviously, she hasn't run well on a good track before. Her best wins have been on soft surfaces, but she's got terrific form for a race like this, and wouldn't surprise me if she can knock them off first up here at the 550. So she is my on-top selection. Look, I probably will have a play in the end, but I'd probably suggest you guys leave this one out because, to be honest, the scratchings have thrown it all over the place now. So, look, I've got number 10, Mirror Vision, on top, ahead of number 12, Ice Bath in the second, who was really good first up, finishing second behind Zakat on that occasion. Think it can turn the tables on it, so it goes in for second. In for third, number 6, Zakat, who, like I said, was very good last start on the soft track, beating Ice Bath there. I think Ice Bath will be able to turn the tables here with the weight swing, but Zakat, obviously third up as well, should be running a good race in this. And then the other one, the horse that I don't mind as well, is number 4, Crystal Breeze, coming out of that race as well, finished third behind those two. So another chance in the race. Look, now that we've had some scratchings, I think Best Stone does come into it pretty nicely as well, especially from that inside, from barrier number 16. It looks like it's going to be able to get across and lead. If it can do so, it'll be hard to beat. In fact, I'm surprised it still says 16. I think it's going to come in off the back of those scratchings. But recap the numbers for me. Look, I am pretty keen on number 10, Mirror Vision. Look, hard race because we've had the two scratchings now with two horses that I did like. In fact, we've had 4 scratchings. Oh, we've had 2 today, which were my two, the two that I subsequently liked. But anyway, number 12, Ice Bath in for second. In for third, number 6, a Cat. In for fourth, number 4, Crystal Breeze. Now, to have a look at the quaddie selections of the program. So looking at the early quaddie, look, I probably wouldn't suggest having necessarily a decent go at the early quaddie, and you probably won't need to get a good percentage. Obviously, if Nature Strip wins, that's going to really bring the value of the quaddie down, but hopefully we can get a few roughies early on in the program. So race number 2, leg number 1, I've gone with 1, 3, 5, 8, 9, and 13. So 1, 3, 5, 8, 9, 13. Leg number 2, race number 3, I've gone with 2, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So it's 2, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Leg number 3, race number 4, I've gone 1 and 2 only. So Nature Strip and Guitra. Hopefully Guitra can knock off Nature Strip, and that'll put a little bit more value into the quaddie. And leg number 4 is race number 5. I've gone very wide in this run with obviously plenty of good value in the race. 3, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 15. So it's 3, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, and 15. $100 will get you around that 20% mark. So pretty good. Hopefully we can see a bit of value outside of Nature Strip and Guitra to help with that quaddie there. But looking at the late quaddie in the program, which is obviously races 6 to 9. So with the late quaddie, we've got a little bit more value in this one. So it's leg number 1, race number 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10 in race number 6, leg number 1. Leg number 2, race number 7, 1, 2, 3, 8, 10, 13, and 14. So it's 1, 2, 3, 8, 10, 13, and 14. Leg number 3, race number 8, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9. So it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and 9 in leg number 3, race number 8. And then leg number 4, race number 9, I've gone with 4, 6, 10, 12, and 14. 4, 6, 10, 12, and 14, leg number 4, race number 9. Around that $200, we'll get about 15%, which I think I think will pay really well, and I'm pretty confident that will get a return as well, unless we get something that really blows us out of the water, and plenty of value as well, really. The late quaddie on the program at Randwick. Now, going through my best bets of the program at Randwick. So I'm keen on Ethereum in race number 1, number 4. So obviously race number 1, number 4, Ethereum is one of my best bets. And the other one that I'm very keen on is race number 8, number 1, Dream Force is one of my other best bets. Now, best value plays in the Chelmsford Stakes, race number 7. I've gone with number 8, Shared Ambition. I think it's got a good chance. So race number 7, number 8, Shared Ambition. And then in race number 6, I've gone with Forbidden Love, number 10 at the $9. And also Stella Pauline. So, and yeah, if you haven't already done so, obviously check out my article on SEN down below on this meeting. Hopefully you'll find plenty of winners with me. Go and check me out on social media where I'll be posting all these tips and quaddie selections as well as other tips around the country. Go and check out my Moonee Valley Stakes Raceday preview as well. If you haven't already done so, hopefully we can find plenty of winners. Once again, apologies for uploading this late, but hopefully plenty of you can get on and watch this before tomorrow. So good luck for playing tomorrow. Hopefully we can find plenty of winners, and thanks for tuning in.